This is the latest from BBC News. Father Christmas has been swept away in a terrible windstorm and may have been carried out to sea, but we think we have found him in Georgia. We take you to Santa Claus, who has come to the rescue.
Oh, Father Christmas, sounds like you went through quite an ordeal. Tell me about it, would you?
Oh yes, Santa. It was a terrible, terrible thing. There I was headed for the Bassett's house in Ipswich, England, a little small town, and I had a tree for the little Bassett boy, and suddenly the storm rose up, and there I was being buffeted by the storm, and I pushed against the wind, and it finally caught the tree and dragged me up and up and up and over the coast of England I went, and there I was over the Atlantic Ocean, and I could see ships and men on the ships, and they continued to blow, and what a terrible, terrible storm it was. And finally, the wind blew me over to the coast of the United States and into Georgia. And there I settled down just like a leaf on a tree in the quaint little village of Stockbridge, Georgia. And right in front of this nice house, and in front of the Gilberts it was. And so there I was. They took me in, and I was a little bit dazed, and I didn't have any food for a couple of days, and so they fed me, and so here I am in Stockbridge, and I told John Gilbert, I said, John, I've got to get back to England. This is Christmas Eve, and the little children are looking for me to come, and so he's checked with the airlines, but the flights are booked solid, everything on Christmas Eve, and we tried a number of airlines, but nothing happened. But wouldn't you know it, you heard about my plight, and you brought your reindeer, hitched them up early, mind you, and brought them down here to Stockbridge, Georgia, and here we are, and you've come to rescue me. Has anything like this ever happened to you?
Oh yes, I've been through some terribly bad storms. The wind and the rain were pounding, and the fog was as thick as pea soup, and yet I was able to manage, with the thanks of Rudolph, to get through the fog and the storm and get all the presents delivered to the good little children. How have the children been in England this year?
Oh yes, the little children have been as good as gold and better this year. They've been wonderful, helping their parents and minding their parents and doing the things that they should, working in the garden sometime and helping out where they can. So they deserve the wonderful presents that I have for them. And let me ask you this. What time do you start delivering presents?
I always start at midnight. You know, there are different time zones. We have the Eastern time zone, the Central, and the Mountain, and the Pacific. So I have an hour to get all the houses in that particular time zone. Now tell me, how is it that you make it all over England without a sleigh and reindeer?
That's a secret, my friend, a secret. But I'll tell you and the people that are listening. How do I get from place to place? With my magic boots. Yes, indeed. They get me where I need to go on the wings of the wind. I can be at one place and then another, delivering the wonderful toys to all the girls and boys that are in England. Don't you know? Are your reindeer ready to go for tonight?
I'm as ready as I ever will be. You know, you're 5 hours ahead, but we've got to get moving if we want to get you back to England quickly.
Oh yes, Santa, we had better go, because as soon as I get onto the shores of England, these magic boots will take me where I need to go as quickly as I need to go. And because of you and your wonderful heart, you have warmed millions of hearts this night. You've warmed mine as well. And we shall be in England, and we shall visit all the little children and give them the presents that they deserve. There'll always be in England. Well, that's another song for another time. But yes, let's go, Santa. Thank you so much for your kind generosity.
Well, I'll be seeing the American children in just a few hours, so they'd better be good, and you'd better get in bed, for goodness sakes, and cover up your heads, and wait for me to come with my reindeer to your home and deliver your presents because you have been good. Well, you haven't been too good this year, and there's one other, but you'll do better. I know you will. So I'll be there shortly. So go to bed tonight, cover your heads, and Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.